Value is defined as the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. In this world, everything and everyone has a certain level of value or worth, whether it is perceived or not. We typically don't like to discuss when someone has more or less value than another person, and sometimes don't even think about it in that way due to the fact that it can be unflattering or not politically correct. However, here on Money Power Status, we're all about helping our viewers level up. And to do that, we have to look at objective facts. The fact is that in order to get ahead in life, you have to bring a certain amount of value or worth to be successful. People who have high value and status get attention and special treatment. They are highly sought after and are the leaders in every industry. Value can apply to 3 areas: work, romantic, and social. In this video, we will teach you the top 5 ways to instantly increase your value in all 3 of these areas so you can get the most out of life. Whether you want to get a promotion, to getting that special person you see every day, to being included in gatherings, or making lifelong friends, we will show you how you can raise your value to where these things come naturally. The halo effect is the tendency for positive impressions of a person, company, brand, or product in one area to positively influence one's opinions or feelings in other areas. This typically relates to a person's looks, however, and that an attractive person is more likely to be perceived as successful, kind, smart, and a number of other positive attributes. The halo effect is a psychological bias and is highly prevalent in day-to-day life, and when you know of it, it can be hacked. To use the halo effect to your advantage, you need to improve your looks and style overall. The more attractive you are, the more you can leverage the halo effect to work for you, and the easier it'll be to reach your goals. Now, this can be easier said than done, but there are some actionable steps you can take right now to see fast results. The first thing you can do is start dressing better. If you can afford it, wear designer clothes. Designer clothes in general will make you stand out and appear successful. Simply looking rich will get you noticed. If you can't afford designer clothes, there are plenty of ways to find replica designer clothes that are cheap and of very high quality. If you don't like the designer look, then get basic clothes that are clean and minimal. Pick a celebrity whose look you enjoy and try to emulate that. This is great because celebrities usually have a professional stylist who picks out their clothes, so you're basically dressing like a celebrity for cheap. If you work somewhere where you have to dress formal, spend a little more on a suit or upgrade what you currently have. If you work somewhere that has a uniform like McDonald's, then try to get the nicest uniform or add something to the uniform that makes you stand out from your peers, such as adding jewelry or ironing your McDonald's uniform. Once you are dressing like someone successful, pick out a simple but classy haircut and use the celebrity trick for this as well. Start whitening your teeth and moisturizing your skin. By doing these things, within a month you will notice that people are looking at you differently and probably giving you compliments as well. To truly maximize this, start going to the gym. This will take much longer to see results, but it will provide an even bigger boost in value overall. We've all known someone who is a drain to be around. The type of person who is always so negative and you typically wanted to avoid just because they made you feel depressed. Now, think of the complete opposite of that person. It's probably someone you admire. Someone who is cool, funny, smart, and always positive. We all thought of someone specific when I said that, and this type of person tends to be very memorable. That is who you should be emulating to add instant value. This type of person is always the center of attention, and is just fun to be around. We can all be this individual, you just need to be a source of good energy in some way the majority of the time. At your job, with your love interest, and with your friends. Practice being as little negative as possible. You don't have to be overly positive, as that can get annoying, but pretend like you're not fazed if something happens, or if someone is negative. Think to yourself, how would so-and-so handle this situation? If you have truly never met someone who is like this, you can think of a movie character or celebrity to try and emulate. Another great way to do this is to be funny. If you can consistently make your boss and coworkers laugh, they will want to keep you around just because you make the day easier. Same with romance. Girls love a funny guy, and if you're a girl, it's even more effective to be funny, because most guys don't expect a girl to have a sense of humor. If you're trying to get into a new social group or befriend someone and you can make them laugh, they will almost certainly start to like you, even if they disliked you before. To be more relaxed and positive, practice being more mindful or meditating. Focus on getting your own emotions under control, so when the time is needed, you can be a source of positivity. To be more funny, look up jokes you can tell on the fly, or practice writing down 5 jokes a day. This is actually a technique Jerry Seinfeld used before he was famous to practice his jokes. Number 3 is to be a leader. People nowadays are becoming more and more afraid to be assertive and show leadership. They would rather go with the flow and be anti-confrontational. This in turn means that leadership is becoming more and more valuable since fewer and fewer people are willing to step into that role. Therefore, if you simply say, "Hey, I want to take charge," it's very likely people will allow you to, even if you aren't qualified. Being a leader inherently provides value because it gives you more responsibility, which also gives you more authority. This is highly applicable in a work setting because if you ask to lead a project or to have more responsibility, your boss will more than likely say yes, even if it's just to lighten his workload. Even if you're denied more responsibility, showing initiative is a high-value trait that will show you still have leadership qualities. In general, start leading more in your everyday life. Practice making decisions and guiding people, and anytime there is a need to take charge, step up and lead. Once you practice this often enough, you will start to do it unconsciously. Everyone finds a confident leader comforting, so even with friends or romantic interests, simply taking charge will make them feel more secure while raising your overall value. People will want to spend more time with you just because they don't have the burden of needing to make their own decisions. This want to follow and be around leaders is so prevalent that it's the reason why cults form. Looking at cult leaders can in fact be a great way to see what strong leadership looks like, but keep in mind that just because they are strong leaders does not mean they are good people. A lot of times, your worth to someone is determined by what you can provide to them. This can be anything from unique knowledge to skills or social status. Therefore, if you want to seem more valuable to someone or a group, a trick you can use is to give them what they need. This is somewhat simple but often overlooked. Let's say you're trying to be popular with a group in college, but those guys are in a band and you know they need a drummer. Your value to them would be much higher if you happen to play the drums. Now, if you don't play the drums, maybe you can provide value in another way, such as you're good at audio recording. The trick is to find some form of value that you can provide them and give it to them. With almost every person, there is something you can provide that will make working with you or being friends with you more valuable. You can use this trick in a work setting to give yourself a boost before raises are issued, or you can use it in a friend setting to develop deeper connections with existing friends or start new ones. It can even work with romantic relationships as well, but the provided value has to be different. Just because you can fix a girl's car doesn't mean she will be attracted to you, but if you show her you also have an interesting life that she can be a part of, then that is attractive. Providing value in the form of gifts or services can be a quick and easy way to increase your worth to someone right away, but remember to be calibrated when doing this. The timing has to be right, or it could look weird and out of the blue. The number one way to increase your value is to add high-value friends. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so if you're known as the guy who hangs out with CEOs and entrepreneurs, obviously your perceived worth will be higher than if you're known as the guy who hangs out with the unemployed potheads. Surrounding yourself with successful people naturally increases your worth because over time, you will start to act more like these individuals and learn from them until you're truly one of the group. They can also introduce you to other people who will increase your value even further. Studies show that you are more likely to be accepted if you are introduced by a neutral third party that is known by both. I made another video that explains how the compounding effect of certain actions, like adding high-value friends, can be very beneficial, which I will add here. Adding high-value friends can be tricky because it is natural to judge people based on their value, and if your value is low, someone with high value would be less likely to associate with you. However, if you implement the other steps in this video and show a little ambition, most people of higher status would be willing to at least talk with you. Having a group of friends that are of higher worth is the quickest way to boost your value due to the fact that simply being associated with them means that your value is already at that level. It should also be mentioned that having friends of lower value can lower your own value for the same reason. So while difficult, it might be worth taking a look at your current group of friends and seeing if any of them could be holding you back. I hope you all enjoyed these top 5 ways to increase your value. Let me know down in the comments a time you saw someone go from unpopular to popular, or the reverse, and how they did it. Also, be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe so you don't miss any tips and tricks to level up your life.